Hello there folks, whoever you may be, I hope you're well. If you've fallen across this video or meant to watch it, I ask you one favour, please. One favour, well two actually, but one to start with. Please watch it till the end. Not so that I gain any money whatsoever, no monetary sense, nothing to do with that, nothing to do with algorithms. It's just because I'm going to put a message within it that I think is worth listening to. If you agree at the end, I'm asking you, if you can, if you don't mind, share it with folk, whoever it might be, on any kind of platform. It's a raising awareness kind of video, or that is what is the aim at the end of it. And it's a subject that's become pretty dear to my heart this last sort of 2-3 years, to be honest with you, and a subject I've raised many times on the channel. Right, the deal comes on the back of a video I did the other day. I did a video the other day, and the day after I put the video out there, funnily enough, I seen something on the internet from Stephen Graham. Stephen's Flavour of the Month at the moment for his part in Adolescence, his part in the making of it, the joint writing of it and the acting in it. He's out of this world. I've said it time and time again on here. He's my favourite British actor, and he's an actress then. And he got a text, he says, in the last few weeks from Bruce Springsteen. I believe he's recently starred in a film as old Stephen, acting as Bruce Springsteen's dad. And Springsteen sent him a text that he said brought tears to his eyes, and he couldn't believe it. And he thinks it's absolutely wonderful. I heard what was wrote and I agree with him. But I think I can trump that on 2 messages that I got in the last 2 or 3 days. And that's what I'm going to get down to now, folks. That's the aim of this video. I want to reply to those messages, but I don't think I can do it with typing it, because I don't think it'll hold water the same way it will as if I actually speak the spoken word. I did a video a couple of days ago on the back of something I'd seen on Breakfast Time. They had a short segment on to do with MND. They've been doing a lot on Breakfast Time to do with Rob Burrow and Kevin Sinfield, and they've championed MND and you know, the cause and the fight for money and the fight for everything to get it more in the public's consciousness, and hopefully sometime in the not too distant future to, if not cure the thing, help make it livable and hopefully give people better and longer lives. Anyway, they did a piece the other day. I think it was about 2 ex-footballers who had done, I think they'd done fans of the footballers and followers and people that wanted to help. They'd done a charity walk, I think, from London, I think to Ipswich, I think, but I may be wrong. It was about 180 mile, I think, 178 to be exact. They were doing it in 4 mile batches, took, I think, 3 days. They slept a little bit, but not a lot. And many people were on the walk, and many people welcomed them to Ipswich when it ended. And to that end, a young lady came on the screen that they introduced, a young lady. And this young lady has got an MND herself, and she announced to the camera, I mean, I think she's had it for 5 or 6 years, and I've got to say, for someone that's had it for 5 or 6 years, I thought she looked in much better health than I would have expected. Many people wouldn't be here after 5 or 6 years. Youngish lady, not that old at all, good looking lady, spoke very well. You wouldn't necessarily know that she had the condition, I keep wanting to say disease and I don't mean to, the condition, other than the fact that she was in a wheelchair, which I think she was working herself, so again she's doing well there. And she spoke about the condition itself and that she had it and other members of her family having it. And the video I did mentioned the condition and the lady's name, and I think she said, and I might have got this wrong, because I've not got it all in front of me, it's from a few days ago. I think she said she's one of 5 members of her own family, to have MND, and I thought, oh my God. I think she said the first was diagnosed in, I think she said 2018. I think it was 2 aunts, I think a father, I think a cousin, I might be wrong about that, and herself. And she said, of the 5 of us, I'm the only one that's left. And I thought, bloody hell. I mean, I followed Doddy Weir to a great extent, and Rob Burrow massively. I mean, I live in the northwest of England. Our game in this part of the world, probably even more so than football, is rugby league. Rob is from that background. I've always known him as a rugby league player. Sorry about that. Fantastic player, will-o'-the-wisp player. Massive heart, because he wasn't massive in height. Beloved by everybody, you know, members of all teams, even while he was playing, because we all knew how good he was. And a great member of the Leeds team from which he played, and a great friend of Kevin Sinfield, who has shown that in no uncertain terms with the many marathons he's done thus far. and I've supported them all the way, and I've always had something on the channel, and it disappoints me. The only time I get disappointed with my own channel and the numbers within the channel, I don't mind that I don't have as many numbers as some others. I don't mind that at all. I don't mind that I don't get as many views and as many thumbs up and everything else as some others. I don't mind that at all. I know ultimately in a few years' time, this channel will still be here, as long as I am. It'll be making some money, and that'll be the pension that I need, because I've not got one to look forward to. So I need an income, which is why I started this channel off. But I've got much more than that from it. I love it. I'm earning very little, but I love it. I spend a lot of the time on this channel knocking folk that I think don't deserve our appreciation, folk that earn fortunes and are crap at what they do on either the sporting field, the entertainment field, or wherever it may be. I knock folk more than I praise them, but the ones that deserve praise, I praise massively. And if I see any subject there that I think needs highlighting, or any conditions, any diseases, any folk that are downtrodden, of any colour, of any race, of any religion, any wrongdoings, I always bring them on here. Some of them might game with the odd friend, but they'll be off and it goes the opposite way altogether, because I give my opinion, and my opinion isn't always universally liked. I get lots of people's backs up. But to that end, I've championed a few causes on here, and some people have come on here and messaged me back, and I've never expected it, because most of the things I do don't get many views. Back to subscribers and views. The only time, as I say, that I'm disappointed with the channel is when I do a video that I think is really important, like this one I'm doing now. It'll often get watched by 50, 60 or maybe 100 people, and it isn't enough. If it helps just one person and one person gets something from it, health-wise or going forward, then that is enough, really. But I'd like more to see it, because there's certain things that I think need to be pushed more than they are currently being pushed in the media, and this is one of them. So I did the video the other day about this young lady. I'll come up with a name in a mix. It's on that laptop there. I'm going to put the bins on in a minute, so you're going to get the glare from the light or the reflection. I'm sorry about that. And I'm going to be facing away. I'm sorry about that. But I did this video expecting nothing from anybody. It probably might have been watched by 100 people. It might not be that many. And I got this reply. Well, it was one reply I seen. I seen a reply on my phone. I'm a technophobe. I know nothing about nothing. My mates put something on my phone where there's YouTube on there. I never use it. I never look at YouTube. Never look at anything. But in the section on your phone where it keeps filling up with things, mine fills up with news maybe from MSN, might be sporting news and things I follow, and certain YouTube comments will come on there, and I can click the comments and read it. I never watch any videos or follow anyone on there. I don't do any of that, but I might read I know this come up. It wasn't a comment, it was a name, and I thought, I know that name. I'm sure that's the name of the person that I did the video about. So then I come on here later, and it was, and what I read really, really shocked me. I mean, it shocked me in a good way. It heartened me. It upset me in a good way. It just did lots and lots of things with my emotion. I mean, number one, I didn't expect the person ever to see it. If they did, I never expected them to reply. I never did it for them to see it. I never did it to get a reply. I think they've said some pretty nice things to me. I didn't do it for that. I've never done any video ever for that. Ever. But it made me feel justified in doing the original video. It told me something that I've never heard of before, which I need to look into. And that's the reason for this video now, because I want to tell you what it told me. And I'm hoping it might resonate with just a few of you like it did with me. And just a few of you might pass it on for others to see. Or maybe to other media channels, I don't know. I'm not on anything else, I can't do it myself, and I don't do anything like that. But if anybody is happy with what I tell them, please pass it on if you don't mind. And it isn't to earn any money or whatever else, I'll get buttons from it. But certain things need highlighting, this is one of those things. So I put the video up, and a day later I get this message back. This wasn't the one I seen on my phone. This was from a lady called Samantha Bradley. Samantha, thank you very much for getting in touch. It was much appreciated, love. I'll read the message now in full, and then I'll read the message of the person that the video was about, if you don't mind. Then it's end of message from me. The lady's name was Eleanor. In question was Eleanor. Bear with me a sec, I don't remember. Let me go up to Eleanor's message, because that came second. Eleanor Dalley. Eleanor Dalley was the lady that was on the TV that they interviewed on BBC. Samantha Bradley said this. Hello, I know Eleanor. I have sent her this because I think she will be really happy that this is inspiring people to talk about motor neuron disease. I don't want to go into it too much because I think Eleanor will do a much better job of explaining it than me. But she has SOD1 gene, SOD1 gene. The S is a capital, I'm guessing it's supposed to be. That's the bit that I want to mention here, because I've never heard of such thing in my life. It meant nothing to me. In fact, it meant sod all to me. I hope no one took offence by that. I laugh at everything, anything. I always try to laugh. Does no harm. She's got the SOD1 gene. It is a genetic mutation of MND. And I also have MND/ALS. I've not got a clue what that is neither, but I'll look that up as well. And I think it is amazing that you are raising awareness. So I've shared your video with Eleanor. Also, I'm not sure whether Rob Burrow carried the SOD1 gene. When I had my genetic done, they told me my children would not be able to be tested until they were 18 if I did have the gene. In brackets she's put, in one way, I was glad I didn't, because I could never give it to my children. But in another way, I was slightly devastated that I could not have Tuforsen. I'll reread that because I'm reading it badly. I do apologise. I'll try to read it without looking. Wait a minute. Right. They could be tested when they were 18 if I did have the gene. In brackets, in one way I was glad I didn't, because I could never give it to my children. But in another way, I was slightly devastated that I could not have Tuforsen. But I guess all clouds have a silver lining. I don't know what Tuforsen is unless it was a spelling mistake. It was spelt, again, capital T, so I'm guessing it's not. Tofersen. So Tuforsen, ALS and SOD1, I'm going to look into them all. I guess all clouds have a silver lining, close brackets. Keep up advocating for MND awareness. Lord knows we need it. And I agree with you there. And if you follow this channel, folks, I push anything here about MND all the time. And I also do it about, what's the other thing called? The bit that Graham Souness is very, 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 very keen on with this young girl, this young Scottish girl. I know what it's called and I can't remember. I mention it all the time. Whenever he's on the TV, I mention it. Right. From there, that was probably about 3 hours later, I got a message from ELEANOR DALLEY. I hope I don't get upset. I'm going to try not to. Before I read you the message, I thought, I'll forget this. When I finish this, I'll probably be a bit upset and I'll probably knock it off straight away. I want to say this before I knock it off, because I'll forget and it's important. It's weird. I click into the people's profile when they send me a message. If somebody sends a nasty message or a really nice one, messages in between I don't always do, but if they send a really nasty one or a really nice one, I click into the profile and see who they are. And I clicked into both ladies, and I clicked into Eleanor's, and Eleanor's is the photo similar to how she looked on the TV. Extremely glamorous, lovely looking girl and whatever. I mean, nothing by Eleanor. I'm married. Her indoors might see this. I don't show them off, but she might. I mean, nothing by it at all. The picture of Elf looks fantastic, but what I really noticed was the profile had been set up the day she sent me the message. Now that's two things with me. When people are abusive on this channel, and very few are, but when they are, I tend to look at the profile, and often I find they've been set up the same day. If I have someone that comes in here, tries to stir up hatred and hate, or tries to get me having a go at somebody else, I look at the profile and it's set up the same day. It's always in a unreal name, it's not a proper name, and it's always set up the same day. And when a profile's set up the same day, I know it's always dodgy people up to no good, and I just ignore them. The fact that Eleanor sent this up the same day is heartening to me even more so, because she's not been on here, she's had no profile, and to message me back with all the trouble she's got in the world and all the things going on in her life, she took the time to set something which probably only took her minutes, because she's probably a lot cleverer than me. I did it with my daughter. It took me forever because I'm crap. But it really happened me, and I thought, took her to all that trouble just to message me. Thought it was fantastic. So, Eleanor, thank you and well done. Let me read you Eleanor's message. Hi there, I'm Eleanor, and thank you for this video. It is so nice to raise awareness. I was diagnosed in 2019, and a year after my first aunt died, and 6 months before my I was diagnosed in 2019, and a year after my first aunt died, and 6 months before my second aunt passed. Oh, so she was diagnosed a year after the first aunt died, and 6 months before the second aunt passed. So two had died before she was diagnosed. My dad was diagnosed in 2020, and then my cousin last October, and he passed in February 25. We have a SOD1 gene mutation. In brackets, it only affects 2% of all MND patients, close brackets. As I say, I'd never heard of such a thing. I really had never heard of it. Each family member has a 50-50 chance of getting the gene if one parent has it. In my case, my dad had the gene, unbeknown to him, and unfortunately, I got it too. I have brothers and sisters, but they haven't been tested. It's just too scary. I was told in early 2021 that I was slow progressing, hence why I look better than most. The rest of my family who were diagnosed were not so lucky and passed quickly. However, there is a glimmer of hope as for our SOD1 gene. As they have found a treatment that I was lucky to start in 2022. It has stopped all progression of the disease for now, and I'm praying it continues to do so. I have to have a monthly lumbar puncture to administer the drug. Jeez. It is not yet available on the NHS, so I'm campaigning to get it available in case any more family are affected. With MND, 90 to 95%. I'm reading it bad, folks. I'm sorry about this. I do apologise. It is not yet available on the NHS, so I am campaigning to get it available in case any more family are affected. With MND, 90 to 95%, it's sporadic, but 5 to 10% have a family link. Unfortunately, we sit in the 5 to 10%. Thanks again for your video, and take care. There's no reason to thank me, Eleanor, none whatsoever. I don't need, I would say, or accept thanks. I'll accept it, but through gritted teeth, I don't need that at all. What I need, hopefully, is, people will realise I didn't read that as well as I could. And for that, I'm sorry. But I do hope folk like me that was unaware of these extra variants on MND, especially the SOD1, look into it, look it up, share this video and pass it on to others, and maybe try to campaign together. Eleanor, what I'll say, lovey, is there anything at all I can do to help you and anyone that has it, but specifically you, just because it's you I know, because you've messaged me, but because I've seen you on the TV? What can I do campaign when I can keep putting videos up on here, as and when anything's on the TV about MND. I've done it since Doddy Way, but more since Rob Burrows, and the channel's only 2.5 years old. You'll find there's lots on there about MND. What more can I do to help? If there's a charity that way you can give to, let me know. Send it on a message. Some of the viewers might see it. I'll do a video about the charity so as they can give if they want to give. Might do some kind of, as the channel gets bigger and grows, if it does, might do some kind of charitable thing or collection. I might do some of that, but it's not big enough yet to get that, Eleanor, and there's not enough people watch each video, sadly. But in time, I hope to do something. I've got an idea. I keep saying this to some folk in here, but they don't want it to make myself a lot of money. I need to float it to a couple of people. And 3 of the things that I'm going to do as part of that is hopefully do something for MND, do something for the thing that Graham Souness is involved in, and also do something in small part for cystic fibrosis. Only because I've had that in my family. I've had one cousin died with it, and one nearly died. He's had a double lung transplant, and he's a lot better now, but that's another awful disease. I think MND is even worse, sadly. If there's anything I can do, let me know. You don't need to put it, if you do see this video, Eleanor, on here. Just go to the channel and look for the email address on the channel. If there's anything that I can do that you'd like, or that you'd like me to talk about, or anything, just put it on the email address. I'll have a look at it. Nobody else will see it. Nobody will contact you. Nobody will mind you. Nobody will give you any grief. If there's anything I can do going forward, let me know. I'm willing to do anything in small part if I can. You know, I'm not the sharpest knife in the box, tool in the box, whatever it might be, but if I can do anything, I will. My heart went out to you when I seen you on the TV, when I read your message even more so. As I say, I never knew that condition existed. You can't believe that a family can live within itself and up to 50% can get this awful condition. So is it the sort of Damocles, whatever it is, like something hanging over you all the time? What a shame. You say you're having treatment now, you carry on with that treatment. I hope it slows it down to a walk and then to a crawl. And I hope in time we find a cure for everything. I should have said they find a cure. And I hope they can even cure you, lovey. I'll get you to where you were. I don't know whether they can, but I hope. I think you're a very brave lady. I think you're a wonderful lady. And I thank you for the message. Thank you very much.